What is good, chat? How are we doing today? Welcome to another show. Now, listen, chat, I've been putting off doing this one because I'm just like, okay, listen, all right? It's already out there in the media alone, and people are covering it already, but it's one of those things where I started to draw similarities, all right? Lots of different similarities that people have been questioning in the past, but only now it seems as though people are finally starting to pay attention, okay? And there were a lot of different things that stood in the way of that when situations like this was popping out, okay? For those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about yet, okay, we're talking about Katt Williams absolutely destroying the entire internet and taking down the comedy industry right now, exposing everything, the slimy, sloppy Hollywood backwater nonsense and back end deals. I'm talking about like the real back end deals when they open up your back end and go in. The dumb deals, right? So it's all of that stuff. He exposed all of that on the table. Now, here's the big thing, chat. This is not big news, okay? We have always been knowing that there are lots of shady stuff going inside of Hollywood, okay? That's why they call him Hollyweird. Now, here's the main thing that people are kind of forgetting with the Katt Williams subject, okay? Because I think we're kind of focusing on one aspect of the thing and the other aspect, but not the full picture as a whole, right? And let me explain what I mean by that. On one hand, people are focusing on the beef because some of the comedians that were called out, Kevin Hart and Cedric and Ricky Smiley, some of these guys actually have prior beef with Katt Williams, okay? And for those of you guys who don't know who Katt Williams is, okay, I don't know what else to tell you, bro, but like bro, it's Katt Williams. He's the OG when it comes to comedy, all right? But here's the thing. They've always had beef, and Kevin Hart and a couple of these guys, especially Cedric, have had a lot to say about Katt Williams on Shannon's new podcast. For those of you guys who don't know, Shannon is the football player turned podcaster. I feel like that's the route everybody else is going now. You know, when you're done with your career, just become a podcaster. It opens up new doors. I mean, that's what it is. But they have all been on Shannon's show, basically talking whatever talk they need to talk. And essentially, people are seeing it as Katt Williams coming out and saying, you know what, it's time for me to say what I need to say regarding that, right? And on the other hand, you're seeing people talk about, oh my goodness, the joke stealing. The joke stealing, we knew it. Freaking, who's that dude with the mustache? Steve Harvey. All right, I knew that nigga was stealing something. He definitely stole that shit on his face. I mean, he'll steal your jokes. It look like he'll steal your candy bar too when you're not looking. You watch him, dog. All right, we didn't know, right? And there were other people pointing this out too as well, right? And yes, there is another factor to it, right? That's another factor people are pointing out. However, what I feel as though people aren't mentioning right now, and I think is the main thing, is the conspiracy that a lot of black folks have had when it comes down to black men rising through the ranks in Hollywood. Okay, now here's what I mean by that. A lot of rumors have been going out around in the past. This isn't nothing new. All right, a lot of rumors going around in the past where black male celebrities, whether you're in the comedy or you're in the movie industry, okay, black male celebrities somehow end up in these roles where they're basically wearing dresses, okay? And a lot of people were questioning that. They were like, "Yo, what's going on? what's going on here? Why is he wearing a dress? Why does he got to wear a dress, right?" And that conspiracy theory has been actually uttered by a lot of different comedians, right? A lot of different comedians, a lot of different stars, and it doesn't have to be in the comedy industry. Even in the music industry, we see there's a lot of this similar conspiracy talking, right? And I think one of the main things not Kevin Hart, Katt Williams exposed was that this is actually a thing, all right? And let me let y'all know this. Katt Williams is not the first one to expose the little dress and Hollywood conspiracy nonsense, okay? Dave Chappelle and other comedians have also exposed this nonsense. Matter of fact, Dave Chappelle, he turned down a $50 million deal. I think it was with Comedy Central because something that was included in one of his contracts was, hey, wear a dress for this little bit over here, right? And he decided, you know what, I like my principles, so I'm just gonna go to Africa. We didn't see him for a while until he did that tell-all podcast with Oprah, right? And just like Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams is no different. Katt Williams has been saying a lot of this stuff, especially with Hollywood. He's been calling out a lot of these so-called comedians and so-called actors, all right, saying, hey, you guys all sold your soul because we knew what you had to do to even get to the position you're at right now. So Katt Williams has been saying that, but a lot of people, they've shouted him down in the past. Even Dave Chappelle, all right? You want to know the kind of people that have shouted him down in the past are the kind of people who will call black folks like me calling out injustice, then stuff like shit that Pearl does, right? They, like Anton Daniels and elite attorneys of the world, those were the type of guys that stood in front of Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams' way when they were coming up, right? Because they would always stand with the excuse of, oh, see, this is why black men can't work together. This is why black men can't succeed. There's always another black man trying to hate and take him down, all right? Even when Katt Williams was saying this for the longest time, hey, yo, there's a huge feminization of black men, especially some of your favorites. You need to watch out for it. Those same people who are either signing their souls off or people who are outside the whole story, didn't know what was going on, would jump on the bandwagon of, oh, Katt Williams, he's just some hater. I mean, he's mad because he ain't get the roles in Hollywood. I mean, look, they said he was a drug user, drug abuser, right? And he barely showed up for shows and whatnot. Okay, see, this is the problem. When black people come up, there's always other black brothers who will come out here and tear them down. Now, here's the thing. This right here hits me in a different kind of way. And the reason why is because we cover a lot of red pill bozos a lot, all right? I would say that's the bulk of the channel, but that's a good chunk of it, all right? We cover a lot of these red pill bozos. And what is the main thing they say or their audience say when we criticize them, especially me being a black man criticizing them? Oh, Duke, how dare you? This is why black men can't succeed. All right, you always got to turn another black man down. Why you got to call him out? And then fast forward into the future, we were right the whole time. And then where are those guys? Silent. The same thing is happening here, right? Katt Williams, Dave Chappelle, they've been sounding the horn on all of this nonsense going on behind the scenes, especially with these weirdo bozos clicking up, right? He's been saying that, right? And that's how you get blackballed, by the way, right? These guys click up together and then, they conspire to kick you out, all right? And the red pill was exactly like that, especially when Kevin Samuels was alive, okay? When Kevin Samuels was alive and everybody wanted Kevin Samuels' clout, they fell in line. They didn't want to rock the boat at all because they were scared if they won't be part of that club, they won't be able to get in. So everyone played their role. Yeah, there were little beefs and spats here and there, but everybody at the end of the day played a role. The fakes clicked up against the real people, and the real people were shoved out, all because they were all waiting for the hand and clout. It's no different with this, right? The same people who are now saying, oh, well, Katt Williams, whoa, I can't believe he was right. No. Y'all stood in his way. Y'all got him canceled. Y'all were playing that whole black card. Listen, let me say this once, and let me say it and for all right? Because I am sick and tired of these criticisms levied against black folks who are trying to set other black men on the internet straight, okay? Here's the thing. Just because a black man is criticizing you, you should probably listen to the criticism. There's a difference between someone criticizing you and hating on you. Hating on you is a completely different thing, and you can spot it from a mile away. Even a toddler can spot it, right? But constructive criticism is something different. Yeah, we shroud the stuff in comedy a little bit, right? Because it's an entertainment factor. But at the end of the day, they're criticizing you for a reason. It's not there to try to tear you down. Oftentimes, is they want you to succeed. So fix the issues they're bringing on, and then you can succeed. A lot of y'all people in your mind get so, especially when I criticize such Marquardt, a lot of y'all get in your heads, oh, this is another black man criticize another black man. This is why we can't succeed. Man, shut up with that bullshit. This is how y'all failed. This is how y'all failed and how y'all get bamboozled, because we're not allowed the freedom to criticize our own people when we know they're doing wrong. All right. And Katt Williams decided to do a tell-all and did basically exactly that. He criticized everything. And I think that's the whole conspiracy part is not what a whole lot of people are focusing on. We're going to break all that stuff down and more in this episode. Okay. Starting with the podcast that started all of this. And this had to do with the Cedric and Shannon and whatnot. All right. And we're gonna cover all of that and more. But before we get into any of that, guys, we got to go over the sponsor of today's video. And that is you guys, particularly the YouTube like button. Okay. You guys being here, that means a lot to me. You guys literally could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here spending time with Duke the Don. And literally, you guys, some of y'all are anywhere and everywhere in the world right now. So I really appreciate that, because there are numerous other content you could be watching right now, but you're spending time with Duke the Don. That means a lot to me. So show your support by go ahead and clicking that like button and sponsoring the show. So with that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this. First of all, we're gonna get into Cedric's clip. All right, so we're gonna get into Ricky Smiley's clip, and then we're gonna get into Cedric's clip. All right, and these are the clips that were on Shannon's podcast, And basically the thing that set the whole thing off, that got Katt Williams out of the bag. I'm gonna make that joke. Yeah, got Katt Williams out of the bag into the studio, ready to do some damage work. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this up real quick. This is gonna be the Ricky Smiley one.
This man, our brothers. I believe we related, but go ahead.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes, and Katt Williams was supposed to play my character, and somebody said, "No, we want you to play Mike."
The thief-ass Santa Claus.
Right, and then, because Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, you know, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham. Came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending where they got to fighting or whatever. The ending was me Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended, so they changed the ending.
Right.
So I had to come back. The scariest thing was laying down in front of that limousine.
Right.
And you better hope and pray that he got it on drive and not reverse.
Right.
Because that was real. Okay. But I had to really lay there while that limousine peeled off.
Right.
So they allowed me to get up about 3 or 4 times to go and look at it to make sure. I said, go up. I put it in reverse. I said, put it in drive. Put it in reverse. So I got comfortable. I said, okay, let's go. I said, hey, we're going to do this one time. One time. So they actually did it twice. And that was scary. And the part where the Santa Claus got with the clothesline.
Right.
When we were laying on the ground, we was in a.
So that was the part where that Ricky Smiley said on Shannon's show before Katt Williams decided all bets are off, okay? So let's go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's get to the video with Katt Williams in it. And then once he gets on Cedric, we're going to play that part too. Let's get it.
That I would actually want to go talk to in real life.
Okay.
I don't do it so I can sell product and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. You have a great product here, and as a fan base, we love the attention that you spend on the guests. We love how much work you've done, how well you know them, how prepared you are. The same things that we liked about you in football. You brought that on over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come is because you've made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike. And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Bro, that's facts. Yo, post for the frame, Ricky. All right, listen. No, that's facts. Because a lot of people, when Ricky Smiley was coming out and doing all that, a lot of people were like, all right, what's going on? Like, what is happening? Why is he doing some of these shows where he's doing this? All right. And even then, there were other comedians and other so-called actors that were doing the same thing. Okay, spawning off a lot of these conspiracy theories, but he's absolutely right here, man. Spitting nothing but facts right now. Let's continue. Yo, Sean, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you being here, Sean. Thank you very much. Let's continue.
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, this should have been my role. Everybody on the scene.
The truth coming out. Pay attention to this because Ricky Smiley's response was one of the most hilarious response out there, bro. But he caps on a lot of this.
Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was.
Sir, no one, why no, he was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and what? So Ricky Smiley knows this. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days?
That's facts. Because if we listen to the original clip that Ricky Smiley put out, he said that he was already supposed to be in the role, but something happened and then they just switched it, right? So Katt Williams is saying, well, listen, we had over 200 people audition, 201 people audition for the role, and then Katt Williams got that role for Money Mike, right? He got the role. But then if Katt Williams got the role out of 201 people auditioning for it, then how can Ricky Smiley then say the roles were flipped to him and he got the Santa Claus role? But then that would have mean that you beat out Katt Williams for that 201st spot that got it, right? Like, I don't get it. So either you already had the role and then they just brought in Katt Williams and flipped it, or somebody lied here, right? It's absolutely, if you don't believe me, let's play Ricky Smiley's response again.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving-ass Santa Claus.
Right. And then, yeah, because Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
So what Katt Williams is saying here is absolutely fact. So how did they, unless you already got the role, how did you already get, like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So again, this is where a lot of people, their eyes were absolutely opened by this, because they were like, yo, this is making too much sense. And honestly, when you wait for the responses from a lot of these clowns, you would think, okay, they would have some points to counteract what Katt Williams is saying here. Chat, I kid you not one of them were able to counteract exactly what Katt Williams is saying right here. They weren't able to present a counter argument to this.
The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped.
Now, Ice Cube did come out and say that the rape part wasn't something they were putting in the scene. So there is confliction going on with this part over here. But again, there's a lot of interesting things going on.
So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was going to play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley?
Boom. Boom. So Katt Williams is basically saying, yo, I wrote the lines for Money Mike. I wrote those lines. Those were all my lines, every single one of it. All right, which goes back to my first argument. If Ricky Smiley already had the gig, okay, how did Katt Williams write the lines for that particular gig? All right, so there's a lot of things going on here that just it's exposing a lot. It really is, chat.
Smiley say on his. You can't say my lines. I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. What he told everybody was, Katt Williams, and don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steve and Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set. That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then. He was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it?
Yo, this shit, my blood went cold. Yo, when I heard this, my blood went absolutely cold. I'm like, yo, no, I did see it. And he was wearing a dress. You mean to tell me you were the mastermind behind all of that shit? Yo, Katt Williams, this is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. But what he's pointing out here is how desperate a lot of these guys are. Basically, when it comes to money and fame, how desperate they are to do whatever it is they can, including selling out their soul, in this case, right, to do it. And essentially, he's exposing that right now, which is crazy because none of this came out when everybody else was talking shit about Katt.
You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
So that's why, because when we released that clip and he said that, you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie.
So
that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it?
Facts. Yo, Cedric, yo, he can't lie about this. He cannot lie because this is the exact interview Katt Williams is talking about right here.
And then it's true.
Right.
You know. So that's what I really feel that's happening in the world of comedy now. Because it is a bunch of measurements about who is the best and why, and who, you know, and some people base it on money, some people base it on funny.
Right.
So, you know, like, and people start to measure themselves by that kind of thing.
Right.
And, you know, luckily for me, I'm just from a generation where we out the way, at least for me. Like, I don't.
Well, you and Katt say you stole one of his jokes.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It was like the idea, the joke that he was even talking about, don't even match up with no timeline. So for me, it was one of those things like.
Did you have a conversation? Did you guys sell it? Did you have a conversation with Katt?
Well, I responded to him the way he responded to me, but that's what I said is,
bro, you're not saying nothing. I responded to him the way he responded to me, but he not saying. It sounded like you were afraid to confront the man because you knew he was spitting facts. And the old videos that resurfaced of this guy literally stealing his joke, bro, like bite for bite, bro. He copied his whole fucking flow.
Well, I've seen Katt, you know, even before then.
Right.
I've seen this guy 30 times. Like, dog, if you literally was that upset about it, like, dog,
why didn't you say, hey,
why didn't you say nothing? Like, that don't even make sense. This is some internet shit, and that's all I can say. So, you know, when I responded to him, he didn't respond back to me, and I left it at that.
He's calling it internet shit, right? He's calling all this stuff internet shit. And you notice this is the same excuse a lot of these guys we see in the red pill space. Again, ain't nothing different. All right. These guys, for some reason, all these industry fucks, they do the exact same roach-like activities, okay? And you see how he's classifying it as, well, listen, it's just hater stuff. It's just hater stuff, man. Like, what joke did I steal? All right. See, Katt Williams is doing the internet shit right now. Because that's what they chalk everything up to, right? Oh, the internet. They're just talking shit on the internet, right? But I mean, I responded to him. He didn't respond to me. So, I mean, if you had a problem with it, why didn't you say something then back then? You notice how Cedric did not deny it, not one bit. Not one bit at all. Didn't even try. Just said, well, why didn't he say anything to me back then? Why did he say that? I mean, he saw me steal it. I mean, he should have said something. But I mean, I said something to him. He didn't respond back. So I mean, just like, you know, chances are, which is actually most likely what happened, is Katt Williams definitely said something on the internet about it, and the whole internet world said something about this. But the thing is, Cedric responded in the most sheepless way possible, and what ended up happening is no one really caught it. It didn't really catch fire like that, so it was just forgotten to the wind. So Cedric probably took that as an opportunity to, you know, think that he got away with it, just literally getting away with stealing somebody else's joke. Now, listen. Joke stealing is not anything new in the comedy industry, right? Especially, I mean, Joe Rogan was one of the main ones that was calling out. Who was that? Was that Carlos Mencia? Was that Carlos Mencia, right? Where Joe Rogan ran up on stage during Buddy's set and said, yo, you're stealing jokes. Your jokes. I'm gonna find that clip, bro. But like, again, we see this all the time. It's happening in every different niche, right? People stealing other people's things. All right. The same thing in the manosphere, right? Where Angry Man was crying about Kevin Samuels stealing this shit, right? Everybody does this. All right. So with the stealing stuff, we're not surprised. But when it gets into the whole men in dresses and conspiracy nonsense, right? That's when your ears got to perk up a little bit. But let's continue here.
Did on TV in 2018. You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019, and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit.
Yo, he's spitting facts again. Yo, shout out to Alba and Preach, because this is off their channel. But yeah, yo, they did a side-by-side comparison, and Buddy stole them jokes, man.
Right. I'm sorry, he doesn't write.
Gas is entirely too high. That's all I'm saying. You are not supposed to be at the gas station making life decisions. You just at the pump. Just, Negro, did I eat today? I can't get no half a tank. I got 6 cigarettes. I can't even do it. That used to be, if you had $10, $15, you could go to the gas station with confidence because you knew you was either going to be full or damn near full. If you had a 20, you didn't even talk to the person at the counter. You just 20 on the left, bitch. Used to be, if you put $15 in your tank, you had time to bond with your vehicle. You had time to put the nozzle in and set the clicker and look through your car and clean off the dashboard and look through your CDs and run in the store and get some Pringles and a Snapper and it'll still be pumping. Now if you put $15 in, you can't even turn around good for that son of a bitch click. As soon as you put it in, just click, click.
Gas $4 a gallon. Can't even pump gas like you used to no more. $4 a gallon? You remember when you used to go to pump and put the nozzle in there and hit it? Be sitting there talking, be on your phone, hey, what's happening? Be walking around, cleaning the windshield. Speaking to gay, hey, girl, what's happening? What you doing? Hey, you. hey, dog, hey, you go in there, bring me a wine cooler. Bring me a cooler, dog. Not no more. Ain't nothing going on at that pump except you and that pump. Your ass is looking at that pump. Give me some. 4401. God!
Now, you could have had your car radio up so loud that you couldn't hear the damn thing when it cut off. It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
They gonna move to the moon. Ain't gonna happen. Y'all move to the moon, damn it, we coming to the moon. Oh, we be right behind y'all in space shuttles with Cadillac grills. Nigga just rolling, one headlight out. Tags be all wrong. All base. Y'all know we'll drive a space shuttle too. That's right up our damn alley. A space shuttle is long. Ain't scared no black folk. We'll drive a space shuttle. We grew up driving long cars. We'll drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. We get us a cigarette. We be in a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce. We get
Bro, yo, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You can't make this shit up. And here's the guy saying, he's saying that he never stole a joke. Let's listen to him say that one more time.
base it on money. Some people base it on funny.
Right.
So, you know, like, and people start to measure themselves about that kind of thing.
Right.
And, luckily for me, I'm just from a generation where we out the way. At least for me, like I don't.
Well, you and Katt. Katt say you stole one of his jokes.
Yeah, like it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? It was like the idea, the joke that he was even talking about, don't even match up with no timeline. So for me,
what? Like, listen to the joke you talking about. It don't match up with no timeline. Yo, Katt Williams about to explain the timeline right here. Hold up.
Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none.
Hey, he the one that wrote the book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman. Wait, what is it? Think Like a Woman, Act Like a Man. Which one is it? Wasn't that Steve Harvey? And they made a movie about it? Bro, Steve Harvey has caused untold damage in this world, especially when it comes to black relationships. He deserves exactly what he's getting right now. Steve Harvey deserves this. It's about time this was coming.
I have to have a range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not feeling bad
right now.
I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Right.
We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again?
He said, Yo, Tubi would take anybody. Yo, the fact that you're not even on Tubi, bro. Yo, that's crazy. So why are y'all talking? Y'all just irrelevant, bro, at this point.
The audience, they're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
He has to reiterate, bro. Listen, I got 12 specials, bro. I'm collecting these specials like Tom Brady Super Bowl rings, my dude. How many do that nigga got? Not even on Tubi, my dude. They didn't even make the backup practice squads to Netflix, my dude. That's what he's saying right now, dude. He had to emphasize that so many times. This shit's hilarious, bro. But like, facts. He's spitting absolute facts right now. Tony Prayton Manson's with the $5 shout out to you. He says, so sup, dude? He says the reason why a lot of these celebrities are losing status is because YouTube stars like Katt Williams is exposing the frauds of Hollywood. Yeah, but we got to be honest here. Katt Williams has been doing this. Katt Williams, you got Eddie Griffins of the world, Dave Chappelle, a lot of these other comedians out there, they've been doing this exact same thing. It's just that there were black folks who are, I would call the Anton and lead attorney types of people who would stand in the way of these very same brothers who are calling out the truth and say, no, you're just a black man trying to tear another black man down. Does that sound familiar to you? Right? Because we go through that shit in the manosphere space too as well. When we cover this stuff, we're like, hey, Sus Marquardt, he's doing some sus things right now. We ought to call it out. Here comes some idiot. See, this is why the black man can't get along with the other black man. Because every time a black man get on, there's crabs in a bucket. Another black man gonna come up here and try to tear him down. It's like, wait, stop. Wait a minute. So wait, you're just gonna excuse dude's bad behavior? This is why we're unable to hold each other accountable. Because when criticism is deserved, a lot of y'all want to protect each other, right? And you're hiding behind black people to do it. Enough is enough. That's why a lot of us we get blackballed. All right, you don't see a lot of these guys coming up and say, "Hey, let's do an interview over here. Let's do an interview there." They don't want to because people like Katt Williams, people like Dave Chappelle, they're boat rockers. They will rock the boat because they have morals, they have principles to stand on. So it don't matter how much money you're offering, it don't matter how cool your clique are. All right, if they see wrong, they will expose wrong. And I think that's what a lot of these guys are afraid of. That's why they blackball them out of the industry. They blackball guys like they try to do with Dave Chappelle. He's just too damn good. They try to do with Katt Williams. He's just too damn good. Now, the one thing you do see is, of course, they don't reach the same marketability as the Kevin Harts of the world or the Steve Harvey of the world, right? They don't get their own show, talking to women and doing all that stuff like Steve Harvey, right? But, they're still powerful in their own right because they're willing to stand on their own principles rather than selling their soul just to get to the next level. All right, we see that all the time. There's so many parallels you can draw with this, chat.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. I don't say any of these things if my name is not breached by these people on your platform.
And
if you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened. It's untrue. And there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
So let me ask you this. What is your relationship with Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and Cedric the Entertainer as you sit here currently?
For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. The way that Ricky Smiley kept appearing at all of my auditions is because of Steven said he would tell anybody that, listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is.
Bro, facts. This is, we see this shit all the time. Yo, chat. If you've been day one on the channel, these signs should be familiar to you, right? How all the fakes in the industry click up. All right. When we talk about the fakes in the industry, especially in the manosphere industry, we see the same patterns, right? We see guys like Fresh and Fit. We see guys like MLD. We'll see guys like Donnie Boy. We see guys like Rolo. We see guys like Andrew Tate. We'll see all of these guys, Sneeko. You throw them all in the lot, right? And they're all one giant clique. You ever ask yourself, why don't these guys criticize one another? Why won't they criticize one another? When Zerka's coming up there dropping the N-bombs and Myron's just sitting here letting them do it, why doesn't he call it out, right? When Waka Flocka is talking that shit to Myron's face and then Frank Castles himself, why doesn't Myron man up and do something about it? It's because these guys are a clique. They have to click up because no talent people, they have to herd together and keep all the talented people out from showing them up. That's the thing, right? They have to, and the thing is, talented people, they oftentimes, they don't really care about your clicks. They care about getting the content out there, okay? So they'll come in, they see you're doing wrong or you're playing these funny games to keep yourself ahead. They will call it out. And a bunch of these guys that click up, they don't want that because they don't want anybody they allow into the clique to rock the boat. They got a good thing going here with the money, and they would rather keep that good thing going for as long as they can. All right, it's the exact same thing. So you guys should be familiar with how these people work. That's why I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised. Even when it gets to the dudes wearing dresses, look at some of these red pillars. Look at some of the bullshit they've been on recently, dog. You want to tell me the sus isn't everywhere? Y'all want to sit there and tell me the sus is not everywhere. It's everywhere. Don't get it twisted. Somehow, when these guys get into a group, especially in media, and they get a lot of money, they start blackballing people and start guzzling down balls. Okay, those two somehow goes together. But I digress. Yo, more D with the 5. Shout out to you. He says this is some Carlos Mencia stuff. Joe Rogan should have kept going after joke stealers. Facts. Again, joke stealing is nothing new, chat. It's nothing new. Joe Rogan, I remember that was a hilarious thing. When he ran up on stage, calling out Carlos, let me pull this up. He calls out Carlos Mencia and says, hey, this guy, he's a cheater. He's a cheater, bro. Like, yo, he's stealing jokes. Let's figure it out, right? And everybody hounded Joe Rogan when he did that. Y'all remember? Everybody hounded Joe Rogan. They called him a hater. Let me pull this up real quick, chat. I got you right here, chat. I got you right here. 2007, Joe Rogan with all the balls in the world, live, while Carlos Mencia was live, ran up on stage and told this nigga to his face, stop stealing jokes.
Who are you? I'm somebody important enough that he had to end the show by saying Carlos Mencia. That's who I am.
Mencia. Mencia.
You don't know that nobody supports us. You don't know that nobody. If someone steals a rip from a song, that shit's in the news constantly. Yeah. Motherfuckers steal shit and make it on HBO. They steal shit, they put it on television. What are you saying? Listen, I know you're saying that you're acting like a little bitch. No, you're not saying that. Yes. They're not agreeing with you. They don't even know what the fuck I do. They don't even know what the fuck I do. They don't know shit. You just talk shit. It's easy to say you steal shit. I say you steal shit. But I don't.
By this time, actually, at this point in time, everybody in the industry was saying Carlos Mencia was a thief. But if you see, even in the audience, they were booing Joe Rogan at the time. Just like I tell you all the time, when people who are not afraid to tell the truth are going up there and tell the truth, it's the people who don't even know what's going on are the ones that are going to stand in front of you, right? Only until way later, until an overwhelming amount of evidence has come out, will those same people who stood in front of you will then now turn around, switch sides, and say, "Oh, well, yeah, he's telling the truth. He's spitting facts. He was spitting the facts the whole time." Meanwhile, all the way back in 2007, y'all will be the same ones laughing at Rogan. Y'all were in the stands laughing at Rogan. It's the same thing. When Katt Williams called, because again, we're looking at this as something new. When Katt Williams called out the industry a long time ago, this was years ago, okay? Everybody would say, "Oh, this is just black on black hate. Katt Williams needs to get off the drugs. Katt Williams needs to work hard," right? They were using every stereotype in the book against Katt Williams. And some of these people were the same people that sold their souls to the industry. Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart. A lot of these people were talking mad shit about Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle, some of them, right? Although you can't really fuck with Dave like that because Dave's too damn real. All right. Not saying Katt isn't, but Dave is just too damn real. All right. But they were doing that. These same dudes. That's why I say these guys like Cedric, you can call lead attorney like a Kevin Hart, right? Because when we called out the whole Pearl saga, y'all remember when the same thing these bozos in suits told us, right? They said, "Oh, Y'all don't know what racism is. Come on, how could Pearl be racist? There's no way she's racist." You see, black folks, this is why you can't work hard. It's because when the white man comes here and they give you a deal on the table, you don't take the deal, right? It's the same fucking thing, guys. It's the same thing, all right? Cedric is an Anton, all right? And you got a lead attorney being Kevin Hart or Steve Harvey. One of them two, all right? Probably Steve Harvey, if anything else, without the mustache. But still, it's the same thing. The same brothers will stand in your way when you want progress. They will gaslight you, and then they'll turn around and say, "You're the problem," until you're right. And then those people will switch sides. They switch faster. Bro, they will switch faster than motherfuckers will do with their internet, dog. All right? They will switch so fast, and then they'll turn around and say, "Well, listen, I was on your side the whole time. Yeah, I knew they were fake. Yeah, I was on your side. I knew Pearl's racist. I been knew that. I was on your side the whole time." Yo, shut up. That's why, this whole episode, it resonated with me so much because a lot of the shit Katt's going through, a lot of channels like ours that criticize a bunch of people that do need to be criticized, we go through the same shit. Let's continue.
They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? Because he's illiterate. He can't read. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of us. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the Cowboys. Katt, damn, you like this?
No, that's not.
But that's yo, Shannon, you're not getting it. No matter what, they're on the other team. So even if you don't disagree with them, you might think they're lovely people. If I'm with the Cowboys, I got to play against Tom Brady, but I love Tom Brady. I think he's a legend, right? Tom Brady, for the time period he's on the field, that's my enemy. I don't care if I admire him. I don't care if any of that happens, bro. As long as he's on the field and he's playing against my team, we going to war, all right? And that's essentially what happened. Now, what Katt Williams is referencing here is actually Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was throwing shots, and this happened years ago. It was like, about 5-6 years ago on the Breakfast Club podcast, right? And he was already throwing shots at Katt Williams. Take a look.
Use your platform to show up to work. You fuck this and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he?
Now, Kevin Hart is saying this, but the stuff, what he's not mentioning, the things that Katt Williams wouldn't do was the Hollyweird stuff. Now we're getting into the conspiracy category, right? Because now we got to get on his dumb ass over here, all right? what Kevin Hart is saying when Katt Williams walked away, didn't show up, didn't do the tours or photo shoots, he's not specifying exactly what they wanted Katt to do. And it wasn't just Katt. It was a bunch of other brothers in the comedy industry or the movie industry that they were trying to get to do the same thing. It's just that some people decided, yeah, you know what? Putting on a dress and dancing around, it's not for me. All right, I got too much stuff going on out here. Let me go do something else, right? And other people were like, you know what? How much we talking here? How much we talking here? I'll put the bra on right now. Hell, you want me to put the panties on too? I do that, right? So again, Kevin Hart isn't highlighting what it specifically had to get done. He's just making it seem like, oh, Katt Williams was just some lazy bum. I mean, just look at him. He's a lazy bum. He didn't show up to work. All right. He didn't want to do the work. He didn't want to do what they were supposed to, but I did. I showed up. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Especially when we were going after lead attorney and Anton and them, right? We're saying, hey, y'all over here running cover for Pearl because y'all need her. Okay, y'all trying to get clout off of her and all that bullshit, right? They were saying, no. It's because black people don't want to work. Black people don't show up to work. That's why they didn't want to sign a 360 lopsided deal with Pearl. Because y'all was smart and black people knew what they wanted. They would have signed that stupid ass contract deal where they only get 50% of their money and Pearl keeps 85. Like, who in the right mind is gonna sign for that? Who in the goddamn right mind? How are we coons? What is the word they used to call us, right? Race baiters. How are we race baiters for calling out an obvious fraud, right? Pearl is literally, this is slave labor, okay? But the Antons of the world and the lead attorneys of the world, they'll come out and say, oh, no, y'all, see, y'all, if y'all black folks will just pick this, see, Sarah Garvey, you should have picked yourself up by your bootstrap instead of complaining about a goddamn contract. See, you should have signed the contract. Like, it's crazy. Kevin Hart, and fast forward, is doing the exact same thing, right? Yo, Katt Williams, is your fault. You had all these opportunities. You got all these photo shoots and photo ops. You didn't want to do the work. It's like, wait a minute now. You're not being honest because y'all gave Dave Chappelle the same grift when Dave Chappelle took a hiatus for a while and went to Africa. No one knew what happened. Everybody was speculating. Even the same Hollywood media that put him in that situation with the stupid-ass contract where he had to leave for a while, we're sitting there speculating, well, we don't know what happened to Dave Chappelle. Oh, my God. And then afterwards, he came out and went on Oprah's show and said, you know what? Hey, listen, the whole reason why I left is because these weirdos tried to make me wear a dress for $50 million. And I said no. Oh, that was a different story. That was completely different. Wow. Who would have thought? Let's continue.
Be a risk. He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. Mm-hmm. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard.
I have never found Tiffany Haddish funny. Don't get me wrong. I think she's a gorgeous woman. I just never found her funny. She always plays these generic black girl roles that are over the top. If anything, I think it promotes a negative stereotypes for black women. That's all she's done. And for her whole career, Tiffany Haddish, you set black women you set them back years. I'm talking about decades. Because every time Tiffany Haddish comes on the screen, it's always some ghetto black girl shit. It's always like, again, maybe that's the role they thought that Tiffany Haddish was better suited for, right? I would take that as an insult because they're saying she's a one-dimensional character. But I've never, ever, ever found Tiffany Haddish funny. Again, I'm not taking anything away from her skills. She can act. We can give her that. But comedy-wise, it's not happening for her. All right. And she's always playing a stereo. Even to be funny, she always has to lean in on that stereotypical black woman character where they're always aggressive and always mean and angry and always snarky and all that bullshit, which isn't the accurate representation of black women out there at all. But Tiffany Haddish has played those roles. All right. So I think if anything, she's part of the problem. When we talk about black women and their image in society, she's definitely contributed to poor ones. Okay. Now, again, not taking away from her acting abilities. I just think she's not funny.
They have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lou Nell. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't shit on those that now are. I've used my platform and I brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so fucking far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a fucking boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities I'm getting are the ones I'm creating.
Yeah, now we know that's a cap. That's all lies. That's all freaking lies, bro. Right? And you notice what he's saying because it's gonna come out in another video we're going to play here in just a second. But you know how he's focused on, hey, listen, who cares about my morals? Who cares about my integrity? I got the biggest platform in the world now. I'm here. I have a legacy. No one can ever take it away. I'm a boss. I'm standing on top. No. But you're not asking the devil that you sold your soul to get all these earthly riches. You're not explaining any of that at all. All you're focused on is your end result that you got, right? But you're not telling it, because we're about to find out exactly what you did, all right? But you're not telling anybody else exactly what you had to do to get there. You're just focused on what the end result. I'm the top of the game in comedy. My legacy is secured. Everything's, people are going to be talking about my name forever. It's all ego-centered, right? It's all selfish, self-fulfilling type bullshit that he's advocating for. Man, regardless of, you know, the fact that he has millions of young black men who are following him, all right, not noticing that he's sending a signal to a lot of these men, and then we turn around and say, well, why young black boys so feminized right now? Why these young black boys so feminine? They're so childish and whatnot. Well, I wonder why. Look at the role models, and all the role models, like Kevin Hart could say, is, hey, listen, at least I got my bankroll, I got my legacy, I got everything else, I got all this different stuff, right? Okay, nobody say nothing different, bro. Again, this right here just makes you look so crazy. And we see it again. I'm sorry, I got to draw parallels, but that's how it makes sense to me, because I'm looking at how we've dealt through this shit too as well, right? When we criticize guys like Fresh and Fit and some of these red pill guys, what is the main thing they do? They run behind other people's lives, right? Oh my God, how y'all criticizing me? I saved so many men's lives, right? King Richard, right? I saved men's lives. I've saved their lives. Okay, look at my legacy. You can't criticize what I'm doing, even though what I'm doing is wrong. Don't criticize that, because look at the end result. Boys' lives are being saved. We know that's not true, because when Sneeko and his fans run up on him in real life, they're over here talking about, let's kill the gays. let's fuck the women. Fuck them, right? All this horrible shit that they've picked up from you bozos online. Okay, because they're impressionable. Now we look at what Kevin Hart is doing, and we look at the whole industry as a whole. Yo, y'all are doing the same thing. You got these impressionable young men who are watching y'all sell your souls out, and y'all are worried about the end result. Like, that's supposed to be the most important thing. What you're encouraging for these young men to do is to sell themselves out. That's it. But let's get back to Katt Williams roasting these clowns, bro. This is good.
Comedian,
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
How many did Kevin Hart say he didn't take? Kevin Hart said he didn't bring up anybody, with Tiffany Haddish nodding her head like, yeah, Katt Williams didn't bring up nobody underneath him, right? Now he's saying he brought up a shit ton. What is that, 46 or something like that, right? Again, Katt Williams is telling the truth right now. He came out and did a tell-all.
I'm not the comedian you can give that to. I only put on comedians that are funnier than me. Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just goes straight.
What did he do?
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0.
So
Why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities, because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things, because why would you talk about another black dude?
Max! Yo, he's been doing this for a long time. And it's black people that's been canceling him because he's been criticizing other black people. It's only funny that 2024, all of a sudden, everybody is realizing, yo, Katt Williams is speaking facts. But the same people who was clowning him, they were standing in his way not too long ago when he was already doing this shit. He been called out R. Kelly. He been called out all these other people, Dave Chappelle included. They still trying to cancel him. I mean, just keep that in mind, bro, because, again, the hypocrisy just knows no bound. This is why I say, if you know in your heart, you're not even your heart, bro. If you know, logically speaking, let me just put it that way, okay? Logically speaking, and it can be backed up by your gut instincts, okay, that you're right, Just stick with it. All right. Even I don't care if the whole crowd is against you, saying, you know what? No, you're wrong. Don't listen to it. If logically speaking, it makes sense to you, and it also vibes with your gut, just go with that. Okay, because oftentimes it may be the majority that's in the wrong, and that's usually how it works out, right? When everybody is focused on one direction, usually there's very few looking the other way to see what's happening. And that's essentially the whole shtick, right? Because even now we experience that in mass media today, where we got media trying to get people to focus on this thing or that conflict going on over there or this conflict going on over there. Meanwhile, there's all this shit at home no one is talking about but a few people. And only until time has passed, until that little thing, the small amount of people we're focusing on, we're calling out. When that blows up into a bigger thing, that's when the masses turn around and say, "Oh wow, we had no idea. Where did this come from?" Right? But there were people sounding the alarm the entire time, but y'all did not want to pay attention, bro. Let's continue.
Peace is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side.
That's fact.
And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up to all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TGJ, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Yo, this is facts. Again, I'm sick and tired of this argument. Chat, we gotta stop this shit on the internet. All right. Whenever a black man criticizes another black man, it's not a negative thing. So black folks, when we're criticizing each other, it's okay to do that, okay? Because believe it or not, there's fault in our own communities as well. When we see brothers out here like Charleston White saying or doing the things he's saying, we have to criticize that. Even though some of y'all might agree with some of the other things he's saying, when he's talking about raping babies or Asian women or whatever nasty stuff he's putting out there, it's up to us to criticize that. All right. Don't let people use your skin color as a way to arrest you from doing what you need to do, especially when it lines up with your morality. Okay, because we see this shit on the internet a lot where black folks who don't even know any better will come out here and side with demons. All right, they will side with these guys and say, "Oh, see, y'all who are trying to speak the truth, y'all are the real problem. Y'all need to go somewhere." You guys need to do the research and understand what's happening, because you are contributing to the problem. We see this all over the place. I see it in my comment section. Every Anton video, the old ones, we haven't done any new videos. Meanwhile, we gotta check up on Anton. How's he doing, by the way? We gotta see what Anton's doing. But the older Anton videos that are still going viral, by the way, which I don't know. Did Anton do something recently? I don't know why some of my old videos of Anton going viral. But I will get new comments talking about, "Oh, look at this. Just another black man tearing down another black man, shaking my hair. You acting like a diva." It's like, what? Like, wait a minute. How is criticizing a scammer like Anton Daniels? How bro? There's stories of him on YouTube scamming people with his fake real estate courses that he sells on his Patreon. Okay, how are we tearing down other black men for calling that out? No, make it make sense. When I used to go after Mr. Organics, y'all remember that? When I went after Mr. Organics, we got the same comments. "Oh, another black man tearing down black men on YouTube. Y'all just don't want to see each other succeed." It's like, no. You're the problem, because I'm pointing out the problem with his content that's degrading for black communities out there. When he's out here trying to pretend to be a narcotics trafficker, all right, or trafficking people across the border, that's something you don't want as an influence for black men. So how is it that we're the problem here? I hate that argument, and it just proves how ignorant a lot of black folks are online when they're not able to discern between people who are obviously making arguments there to basically fool them versus people criticizing those people to call them out. Y'all need to start calling that out, or a lot more black folks will be scammed on the internet. We're seeing this now, all right, with people who are sus Marquardt fans. Y'all are Saint the Sinner fans. He scams how many people? How many black people for what? $2,000 and more? Think about this. Anton Dale, they're all the same people. Do not let their race be something they can use as a shield. I don't care if they're black. If they're doing wrong and you're a black man, make a video and call them out.
The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen.
Shit. I kind of get on here.
Right.
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me one more time.
Right.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing,
You will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told him to go get the Prowler. I then told him to paint it purple. I told him don't have an actor at playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
That's fast. And we're seeing this all the time now. Everyone is coming out here and just thinking it's okay to rewrite history, which never made any sense to me, chat, because it's like, wait a minute. You do realize we're on the internet, right? So it's going to be pretty. Listen, back when it was TV and cable and whatnot, we didn't have the internet. Sure, fine, whatever. You can come up here, make up whatever you want to make up, redesign history, and it'd be difficult for people to call you out because the information didn't travel as fast as it is today. Today, a lot of these old heads is coming up. They think it's because they start these podcasts and they go on these podcasts and do their shows and they can just say whatever they want. Y'all need to stop, all right? Because the internet will be the one thing that will expose all of you, all right? That's exactly what's going to happen. And we're seeing that right now. A lot of these people, you're coming out saying what you're saying, but we can just roll back the tape. And not only that, we can do it in an instant. Right off the bat, you're exposed, all right? And that's what's happening right now. Yo, Katt Williams is right. 2024, a lot of you old heads who are, because here's what we're seeing. A lot of these guys, we're seeing this all these different industries, right? Whether it's the rap, DJ, or comedy and all these different things, right? When these guys who are slowing down in their actual careers, what they will do then is go into a podcast that does that podcast within their niche, right? Or similar to that. So that's what we're seeing right now. A lot of people who are retiring from old media coming into new media to try to tell their come up stories. But the problem is a lot of these old people coming from old media are trying to rewrite history to new media like we don't have the internet to call y'all out. Again, a lot of this stuff is just, it makes so much sense.
Cube set the record straight. Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why none of them set the record straight?
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that no one's ever heard. Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard, oh, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon was in a movie, and somebody said, y'all should switch roles. Like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Katt. Normally when people will give you...
You can't even bring Terry Crews up in that, because Terry Crews let another dude grab his balls, and with his big ass, he didn't do nothing because he was worried about his career. Bro, you did so much. You set black boys back a millennia, dog. I'm going to just be real. All y'all in the... Because here's the main thing that pisses me off. These celebrities would be the first one to come out there and lecture black people on how to behave, especially when it comes voting time, right? These are the same people who are culpable, all right, in influencing black men, young black men, and making them a more feminine, okay? They'll turn around, and when they see black men behaving like in feminine activities, they'll come in and lecture black folks. They'll sit there and tell you, they'll wag their finger at you and say, oh, see, this is a problem with black boys. There's a problem with single mothers. There's a problem with all this. There's a problem. No, it's a problem with the message you've been putting out. Same thing with Cardi. Let's put Cardi B and some of these other female artists out there, because y'all ain't out the loop yet. Y'all are talented. Don't get it twisted, all right? Nikki, don't come for me, all right? Y'all are talented. I'm not denying that. But the style of your content, let's just be real. When other young black girls are coming out imitating the dress, speaking style, and attitudes that you guys have, you can't then come around and lecture black women and say, hey, you black girls are too wild. You black girls are too out of control. Look at your activities. Look what y'all have been doing. You can't play this game. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't go out here, set the culture, and then once the culture is set, turn around and criticize the culture because you personally don't live that life. That is called being a hypocrite. Why do you think people come at Beyonce all the time? Oh, the single ladies. Hell yeah, put your hands up, right? And then she go home to her husband. While some of these ladies are single. Now they crying, oh, Beyonce, what happened? Beyonce, why'd you do this? You should have listened. But then again, you're actually right to blame Beyonce because she put that image out there. So are all of these Hollywood people, and so are all of these music industry people. And the music industry, I talk about it a lot, especially in the Black community. We talk about trap music because that's the main thing taking over hip-hop right now. Trap music has been the worst thing for young Black men since crack was introduced by the CIA. I said it. I said it. Because you can't tell me young Black boys coming up on media promoted by Black male media oftentimes who are out here rapping about murdering or deleting their own family members, and we're glorifying this. I mean, for Pete's sakes, we're in the era where we dance around to music talking about how young men killed their own family members, and we're vibing to it. People paying them millions of dollars. They're getting record deals. And then we turn around and lecture the Black community. Well, why are you guys killing each other? What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, this shit pisses me off. Like, we need to get a fucking clue. I don't want to hear none of this. We need a Black-owned media shit. Don't do that. Unless, if y'all gonna come correct, come correct. If you want to build this Black male media, want to build it, but no sellouts. We don't want another Jay-Z situation in here.
Information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time, and they're giving information no one else knows or I've ever heard. So I'm taking them at face value.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey was never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that thinks like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history.
Yo, Steve Harvey has one of the worst relationship records out there. Yeah, he has a show lecturing other Black women who are single on relationships. Just make it make sense. It's the people who shouldn't be doing things that are the ones doing things, right? How is this man that can't keep a relationship together, all right, for more than once, all right? How can he sit there and lecture other single Black women on how to find love? But it's because guys like that who don't understand relationships at all were placed in front of women like these. So that way those same women don't find men to be happy with. Because think about it. All the dating advice Steve Harvey has been given to a lot of these women out here, has it worked? I'll wait. I'll wait. Has it worked? Okay? Yet they parade Steve Harvey out there like he knows what the fuck he's doing. Y'all need to peep game, bro. Yo, Katt Williams has dropped the ball, bro. He has exposed every fucking thing, and it's just, you can't untake this. That's why it's killing the entire internet right now.
Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA, and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Yo, this part actually had me. Yo, Chad, we got to talk about this because he's talking about Kevin Hart. Now, here's the thing. I've always been a fan of Kevin Hart, all right? And I still respect Kevin Hart's talent. But when he said this, bro, when Katt Williams said this about Kevin Hart, I was dumbfounded. Because, again, in my group, we grew up with Kevin Hart, all right? All right. Y'all remember that, right? Or you're going to learn today, right? Yo, see, okay, we grew up with Kevin Hart, right? So I'm a huge fan of Kevin Hart. I think he's got, like, talent and whatnot. But hearing from Katt Williams that even Kevin Hart himself was an industry plant, I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. And then when he went on to talk, it made so much sense because, yo, Kevin Hart, your come-up story is kind of inconsistent, bro, and now he's providing clarity to it. Bro, you was an industry plant. Yo, this guy broke my dreams. He broke my entire childhood, dog, because I'm just sitting like, yo, Kevin Hart, Like he was so like, yo, wait, he was so. How is he an industry plant, bro? Yo, this right here got me. I ain't gonna lie, it got me, dog. I'm gonna be real.
Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing?
Yo,
it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you.
Facts.
Like it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Facts. That's why you see guys talk. They always talk about the end result. They never talk about the journey, right? Always talk about, well, listen, look at the legacy I left. Look at how much money I've made. Look at all these accolades I have, right? But it's like, you're talking about that, but it seems like you're trying to convince yourself that you did it. You did it the right way. But like, why? You don't. If you got it, you got it. Don't worry about it. But if you didn't get it doing it the way you're trying to get everybody to believe you got it, then why are you spending so much time trying to convince us of what you got, right? And it just makes so much sense because that's what these guys do. They spend majority of their time trying to convince us, no, I didn't sell my soul. Look, I got all this money and all this stuff like that. They got all these accolades. How can I sell my soul doing that? We see this in the music industry all the time. They're sitting there. The main thing is to convince you that no, we didn't sell out. We didn't sell, but we can see the signs y'all selling out. We can see all the signs, right? Speaking of which, Kevin Hart, even when he was on the come up, because there's an old video that's circulating now, and Kevin Hart was on the come up, all right, and his career was going great, and he was doing this interview, and this guy asked him, he said, hey, listen, hey, Kevin Hart, you're at the top of your career right now. I've done other interviews with other comedians that say that there's a weird thing going on in Hollywood where they try to get you to sell your soul and do all these different things. Like, are you thinking about doing anything like that? And Kevin Hart was like, oh, no, selling my soul? What you talking about? I ain't selling my soul. It's about my brand. It's about my legacy. Keep that in mind as we play this video, chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what keeps me going.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is there something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so, you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning. I said no to that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. You know, at the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. Yeah. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand.
Come the Cardinals. And from the looks of it, the new pope is not Turkson. The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Conventioné Wallace.
Got him! Wow. Look at this pretty, oh my God. He's a beautiful man. Look at this. Look at him, right? And guess what, Chad? The old video we just got done playing was literally, I think it was like 11 years ago, right? So that video was 11 years ago. Literally a year later, this SNL skit came out. A year later, after Kevin Hart got done saying, yo, no, I'm not. Somebody came to me with a contract with a dress. Ain't no way. I'm never selling my soul. It's about my brand. It's about my legacy. It's about keeping my brand and protecting my brand. And then the next year, here he is right here. And when people saw this, they're like, hey, yo, again, what is going on with Hollyweird? What is going on with Hollyweird, bro? Why are all these black actors forced to put on these roles? And if you think about it, Kevin Hart literally has been skyrocketed to probably the most biggest role of his career, playing multiple films, doing multiple shows, all sold out, right? But it came after this. So when Katt Williams came out and exposed what he had to expose, it was making too much sense, right? A lot of people were, this vindicated a lot of black folks because they're, believe it or not, there are black folks talking about this industry stuff that they get you guys to do. The guys that talk about this in the music industry, where some of these dudes will just they'll goddamn grape you, bro, just for you to sign a deal. And these men will let them, right? Who knows how many of these rappers running around took it up the butthole? Who knows? But that's what we see. So when black folks are talking about this, we get ignored by the richer upper class folks, and they're saying, "Oh, quiet down. It's all conspiracy, Illuminati. Illuminati is not a thing. You're overreacting. Relax, settle down." And then behind the scenes, this is the shit y'all get down. So what Katt Williams has basically proven is that this shit is real. And that's the thing. Who somebody mentioned this. What is it? Buck breaking, right? This is another example of it, right? Why do all of our black male role models have to do things like this? And when Kevin Hart did this, they called him out for it. Who are the ones that were defending Kevin Hart? The same people who are now realizing that Katt Williams was right the whole time. You see how we stand in our own ways? You see this? So when somebody out here like Katt Williams is calling this shit out and saying, "Hey, they're putting y'all in dresses, y'all, wake up," he's not lying. There's some truth to that, right? So let's continue.
The same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Any kicking, bro. How about you sit your ass down? Relax.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was.
He's right.
That doesn't change when I change teams.
Right.
That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there.
Yo.
Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do?
Yo. Again, he's exposed, bro. He's exposing us. He's exposing us because that's true. A lot of black folks, man, we like to throw our principles to the wind when it comes down to money. A lot of us will do that, right? And then we'll clown other people for not doing the same thing. And I just think it's crazy because not everybody is the same. There's some people who are more principled, right? And there are people out there in which he's proven now that they will sell their souls for a hot dog at this point, bro. In this case, or to get their hot dog sucked off by Harvey Weinstein, right? And he was talking about Harvey Weinstein for a long time before all these the Fox News white women got to it, right? Before they got to it, say Harvey Weinstein did this to me. Katt Williams was calling this out back when Oprah was trying to keep that on a hush-hush because Oprah knew what the hell how Harvey Weinstein was doing, right? She tried to keep that on a hush-hush. Katt Williams was calling it out. And while Katt Williams was getting blackballed from every goddamn spot, okay, all these other people that kept their mouth shut kept getting elevated. And now, internet in full force, y'all are getting exposed. This is bad. This is bad for everybody all around. If for those y'all defended this shit, this is also bad for you guys because now you gotta bite the bullet on this. You have to, right? You can't sit there and write him off anymore. You can't. You have to listen. You have to listen to what he's saying. You have to. You can't write this guy off. He's been right.
And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig.
Oh my God, bro. I can't believe, I can't believe Steve Harvey pulled one of those Donnie Boy hairlines, bro. He got that Myron Chia Pet special on the top of his head, dog. Like, oh my goodness. You mean to tell me they allowed Steve Harvey to walk around cracking jokes, knowing fully well he was wearing a black toupee? Oh my goodness. Yo, this is bad. This is all around bad, but that's facts, dude. Yo, Steve Harvey's TV show career didn't start until his comedy career ended. Okay, so it wasn't that he got offered all these shows. Something happened in the background to cause this.
And that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with
Pose for the frame, my nigga.
Like, you got to be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not going to have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym. But you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
That's facts. Bro, we see this with even some of these red pill niggas, right? We see them do this shit all the time, right? Because, like, the main thing they will talk about is, oh, look, we got all these girls and we're having these conversations and we're saving lives. And then they'll ridicule us for not having fancy studios or having fancy guests or OnlyFans guests or all these different things. And it's like, why does that even matter when it comes to a show? Why does any of that matter, right? So you guys are pointing at all these extra things, and all you guys are proving is you can't handle a show by yourselves. And we know, especially with Fresh and Fit, if they just have their normal show and not their after-hour show with the girls, we know the kind of numbers based off of what we're seeing, which show the boys would much rather watch, right? It's the one with the girls, not two boring-ass lamos who are sitting there talking about, let's talk about credits, guys. They ain't trying to hear that. They want to see the OnlyFans girls so they can pay money and subscribe to their OnlyFans accounts. So y'all ain't doing anything special. You're not even saving these men's lives. You're just saving their dicks, all right? That's essentially what it is. Y'all just out here just putting freaking softcore porn right in front of their faces, dog. And we're seeing this all over the place. So he's absolutely right. Now, here's what we got to get into Ricky Smiley's response, because we've got into a lot of these guys, but we haven't got into the response yet because Katt Williams was spitting too much facts. But Ricky Smiley then does a response video to this, all right? And it was very interesting. So did Cedric, by the way, because Cedric tried to do some stupid shit that honestly, it made him look like a clown. But Ricky Smiley was even worse. Let's get the Cedric's reaction real quick. Or not Cedric, Ricky Smiley's reaction.
Let's start with that. When I went out, when I was on Shannon Sharp, let's do Friday after next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View, and in the season in 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, hey man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharp's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character. That was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that, and I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I
but that's not what that's not what you said when you were on Shannon's show. You didn't say exactly what you're saying right now. You only saying this the exact same way you're saying it right now because Katt Williams called you out. He called you out for this. So now all of a sudden it's like, well, listen, I auditioned for the role. But when you were talking to Shannon, you said you already had the role. Somebody flipped it. Now you're saying you were auditioning for it. That's completely different, bro. That's completely different work.
Got back to LA. They said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus. And here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career.
Yeah, bro. Let's get into old boy's response.
What up, y'all? What's up? I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, there may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, slighted by that, but that's my joke.
Bro, you can't say that because Katt Williams broke down the structure, how you got there. Matter of fact, we're about to listen to him say that, but you can't sit there and say, oh, well, I didn't steal the joke. I mean, Katt Williams wasn't even a comedian when he did the joke. No. And Katt Williams actually goes on to explain when this bozo over here decided to steal the joke. He thought at the time when he stole it from Katt Williams that he thought that Katt Williams was a nobody. Matter of fact, let me show you all this. Let's keep playing.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay, let's get to your upbringing. We're gonna circle back and we'll get.
I want to protect it real quick because you had said for the Kings of Comedy it was in 2018, 2019, but did you mean 1999? Because it came out in 2000, so I just want to make
No, I didn't. No. So what I meant to say was, remember, he said I couldn't do stand-up anymore. I had 7 TV shows. I said he didn't have any of those TV shows at the time.
I know you talking about Cedric.
Joke stealing from Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric.
Okay,
you had said that 2018, 2019, but it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, no. What comes out in 2000?
The original Kings of Comedy.
Right. I'm on BET's Comic View, and they're using this as the commercial in 1998. Okay. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So if I
Cedric said that he wasn't even sure if Katt Williams was doing comedy back in 1999. We're gonna play that video again, but Cedric, even in his response, he couldn't help himself but to lie, bro. He just lied right there, and we're seeing it right there, clear as day. It wasn't that, bro. This guy was clearly an up-and-coming comic back then. You just thought you could get away with stealing his jokes.
Yeah. So if I said the dates wrong,
let's go ahead and clear that up.
Okay.
You said, I had Cedric on here and I asked him about the joke stealing, and he said the timeline doesn't add up.
Correct.
To that point, you say.
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy, and he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times. And Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric.
Bro, he's right. No, let's play again what Cedric said.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's Ed. I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So,
bro, we all know that's a lie because Katt Williams just said, but he had that joke already written out in '98, probably before that. So again, it just leads to what Katt Williams is saying, that you thought he was a nobody comic at the time. You thought you could just go steal his shit and no consequences would happen, right? Y'all are getting exposed right now.
you know, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So
that's because you made it into a space shuttle jokes, but all the material still the exact same thing. All right, it still was the same joke with the exact same drop and everything, bro. You just turned it into a spaceship versus what he was doing. It's called plagiarism, dog. You would get kicked out of college for doing shit like this. Okay, so again, you exposing yourself. But if you thought this response was bad, Ricky Smiley's response after the original response we just played was even worse, because he just proved exactly why he deserves the dress he was wearing. Okay, because dude went out there, and I shit you not, chat, Buddy was making coffee and was crying. He was crying while he was making coffee. Like, I'm like, hey, yo, like, did Katt Williams get you that bad? Oh, y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? Okay.
Anything?
Buddy walks, hey, can I get you anything, sir? We saw on the cameras, we saw you bawling your eyes out back here. Yo, hey, was it that? Yo, was the ass whooping that bad from Katt Williams, my boy? Why are you crying? Huh? Why are you crying? Hey, don't you a grown, you an old man. You middle-aged, my dude. Why you crying over a dude calling you out? If the truth didn't hurt that bad, you won't be online crying. I think because the last result for a lot of people who are manipulators, like Smiley over here, Ricky, okay, is they have to emotionally manipulate you. So this dumbass probably thought, let me come up here and bawl my eyes out in front of a camera and see if that elicits some sympathy from the crowd, right? Because you want the torment you're getting right now to stop. Well, listen, if you wanted to stop, you shouldn't have sold your soul years ago, decades ago. But you did. All right. And even when you got that leeway, you probably shouldn't have came out there and lied on Katt Williams' name live on his podcast, bro, where millions of people can see it. Now, all of a sudden, when the pressure is not the greatest, you over here pulling a Myron and you're crying. Why you cry? Yo, your assistant has to come out and say, hey, you okay, bro? You want to get the tissue? Get the teddy bear? What you want, dog? Bro, you lost every single respect, Ricky Smiley. You're done. You're done. It's over with. Bro, yo, who are you gonna come out with this bullshit now, dog? It's over. It's OVER. You're done, bro. Talk about masculinity when it matters. You out here crying. A white boy got to come out and ask you, "Hey, you okay, son? You all right? You want to put the dress back on? Would that make you feel better?" Look at it. Look, it's Yo, I gotta analyze this. You see how he took one sip? He cried. He took one sip. No, that's not enough sugar. Gotta get more sugar in your tank, buddy.
Hey man, can I get you anything?
Hey man, can I get you something? Can
Can I get you water or something, man?
Okay.
You doing okay? All right.
Yeah.
We know the truth hurts. We know it hurts so much. Can I get you some water, bro?
Can you do, man?
Thank you. Thank you.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, chat. Now, I thought this was a joke. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, ain't no way. Actually, that was the main thing that motivated me to just do a video because I couldn't believe it. We got a grown-ass black man crying, bro. I'm like, ain't no way. I thought it was a joke. But Buddy was serious about him just crying. And I thought, wait, time out. It has to be crocodile tears because why on earth would he film himself crying? Like, what? Yo, I'm asking y'all in the chat right now. What the point? What was the point of that? What was the point of Buddy just putting a camera in his face just for all so we can see him crying? Like, what are you trying to elicit out of us? You think it's gonna get some sympathy? You want us? Oh, I get it. You're trying to see if some of those black folks who formed a shield in front of you before when you got criticized by Katt Williams the first time, you're thinking, oh, maybe if I cry in front of them, those same people will come out and cape for me again. No, it's not happening, bro, because I don't think you understand how the internet works, all right? People flip-flop like crazy, all right? So the people who used to guard you before, all of a sudden, now you're probably guilty, okay? The same thing with R. Kelly. When Katt Williams was calling out R. Kelly, when everybody in the mom was calling out R. Kelly, okay, everybody came together and protected him. Now, fast forward 2023, all right, it was all them same people. They flip side. Yeah, he probably did it. He probably did it. Yeah, he did. You see how that works? You see how that works. Again, there's just more things that I tell you all the time. We stand in our own damn way. If you see another brother criticize another brother, it's not always a scenario of a black man trying to tear down another black man. You want to see that happen? You see that in the industry. You see that in the music industry. You see that in the comedic industry. You see that in the movie industry where they try to tear each other down, and they do it in the most weird mafioso type of manner where they do it behind the scenes and shit. Hell, we experienced that shit in the manosphere where it's actually the black men in the manosphere who are trying to get it up there, who are the ones standing in the way of their own success. But then they blame the reaction channels who are calling out the fact that there are issues with their shows and issues with their rhetoric. They say we're the reasons for their downfall because black men got to tear other black men down. Don't listen to that bullshit no more. If you see some black person criticize another black person, oftentimes it's not because they're hating. It's because there's probably something there you should be listening to. Chat, that's what I got for y'all today. Y'all let me know what you think in the chat, bro. Do you think that this is over with? Do you think Katt Williams is going to come back for round 2? Y'all let me know what you think in the chat, but it's definitely something that has to be covered here because I think there's just a lot of stuff going on, way too much for this just to be swept under the rug. And you notice how certain manosphere channels, I'm not talking about the cool ones like Anton Daniels and Lee Attorney, they'll sell their souls for anything, bro. All right, we're not talking about that, but you're talking about the main ones. You see that the Fresh and Fit and some of these other guys who are Fresh and Fit adjacent, right? You notice how they're not talking about the story, right? Do you know why they're not doing this? Because this right here applies directly to them. Every single thing that they're doing that Katt Williams calls out, They can't say it for themselves because they do the exact same shit. These people form a cabal. They try to blackball people. They try to kick you out unless you toe the line. That's why you see some of these guys over here. They know for a fact they're not going to criticize each other. You're not going to see Myron criticize Andrew Tate. That's never going to happen. All right? You're not going to see Myron even criticize Donnie Boy, even though he's done a lot of shit. But boy, his channel has fallen so hard. My boy thinks he's an NFL news announcer. I don't know how you could go from dating and womanizing to all of a sudden being a sportscaster for the NFL. Like, what's this nigga talking about? Like, hey, Donnie, I think you forgot what channel you're on, buddy. Did the marriage do this to you? Right? All of a sudden, dude got married, and now we got to do Sunday football. Like, bro, we don't care. We don't care, Donnie. All right? But you see Fresh and Fit calling them out? That's not going to happen. They're not going to call any of these guys out because they're all a cabal, right? Because people who are talentless and require other people to be famous, all right, or to help their talents, they obviously form a squad and kick out all the people who have talent but don't give a fuck about the little, petty bullshit or, the back and forth that they have going on over there. And that's literally just what it is, all right? So, chat, what do you think? I personally think that this is the end of the comedic industry, and by adjacent, Hollywood and some of the other stuff that's going on right now, especially with Disney. I think it's the end because we're seeing a lot of these adjacent stars coming out and really dropping the exposure. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Put a 1 if you think, yeah, Duke, yeah, this right here is just making us all realize that a lot of this stuff we've been spoon-fed, this industry bullshit, it's cap, dog, and I'm actually walking away from it. Katt Williams is 100% right. He just said exactly what I've been thinking about. Put a 1 in the chat. Or if you think, yo, Duke, you're absolutely wrong. Stand-up comedians are always going to be great, especially with cancel culture. All right, it's gonna be great. We're gonna be fine. Katt Williams, what he did is insignificant. Yeah, it's gonna be nice for a while on the internet, but it's gonna fade away, and we're gonna go back to the status quo. If you believe that, put a 2 in the chat. I literally want to hear what you guys are thinking, bro, because it actually would make sense to see where y'all heads at. Because there's some people who believe, nah, this ain't gonna affect much. The other people are thinking, yeah, no, this is probably significant, because when Hollywood was getting exposed for the bullshit, including Disney, I stopped going to watch superhero movies. I stopped going out and watching any new releases that Hollywood's put out. That's why Aquaman is in the gutter. That's why all these other shows are in the gutter right now, because we can no longer trust the institutions that are supposed to deliver us fair entertainment. Now it's all just weird monopoly, mafioso bullshit, and we don't stand for that. All right, and believe it or not, based on the trends of the internet right now, I think that's growing, where a lot of people are losing interest because they're being disenfranchised from Hollywood, from the comedy industry, from a lot of these different industries, even music industry. Now, there's some black folks that they're done listening to drill rap because they realize how dangerous drill rap is. And you know what they're doing? Some of them are going into country, some are going into metal, rock and roll, right? I'm a huge Linkin Park fan. I also a secret Nickelback follower. I love Nickelback, all right? So again, why does that have to be under the rug, huh? Why I got to be in the closet when it comes to supporting my boys Nickelback, okay? I think they're a great band, all right? Just because I'm black don't mean I got to listen to trap music all the damn time, all right? Sometimes I like a little rock and roll. Sometimes I like a little country, all right? We're not a monolith out here. Y'all let me know what you think in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here, all right? And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.